Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a set of topics that are, well, they're not just important for HR. They're really the bedrock of how organizations stay resilient and succeed long term. And if you're tackling your SPHR, you're just aiming to be a more strategic HR leader, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Absolutely.
We're talking learning and development, career planning, and competency models. And the key thing is, these aren't separate silos. They're totally interconnected pillars for a high-performing talent strategy.
That's right.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's equip you with some seriously sharp insights.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, especially from an SPHR perspective, is we're moving beyond just, the definitions.
Right.
Our mission today is to really get how these elements drive actual measurable success, how they shape your talent strategy, and how they help you navigate those tricky complexities that senior HR folks face every day.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be connecting the dots, moving from just knowing the tactics to actually applying them strategically, and hopefully helping you spot those common pitfalls, organizational ones and SPHR exam ones too.
Absolutely. And to really leverage these strategically, we need that clear, shared understanding first. So let's start with learning and development, L&D.
Okay.
On the surface, sure, it's about improving skills and knowledge. But for a strategic HR leader, it's like your organization's internal future-proofing toolkit.
Good way to put it.
It's not just fixing today's gaps, it's proactively building the talent you'll need for, well, whatever tomorrow throws at you.
Right. The unknown challenges.
Then we have career planning and development. Think of career planning as the individual's journey, setting their own goals, their aspirations.
Oh, employee piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Career development is more the organization's side, the structured ecosystem you provide. Things like career pathing, mentoring, coaching, maybe job rotations.
And this is where the view is really changing fast, isn't it? Especially when you compare career ladders versus career lattices.
Oh, yeah.
A career ladder, that's the one we all know, the vertical climb. Junior analyst to analyst, then senior analyst.
Straight up, predictable.
Structured, predictable.
Yeah.
But a lot of companies now, especially forward-thinking ones, they're embracing the career lattice.
Okay, tell us more about that.
Well, it's much more modern, flexible. Growth isn't just up. It can be sideways across departments, maybe even a temporary step down if you need to reskill for something crucial.
Ah, interesting. So it's skill-based.
Totally skill-based. It reflects how dynamic business needs are now and, frankly, what employees want varied experiences.
Right.
So for your SPHR exam, and just in practice, figuring out which model fits your company culture and future needs, that's a key strategic call.
Yeah.
Fast-moving tech firm probably thrives on a lattice.
Whereas maybe a traditional law firm might stick with the latter.
Exactly. Depends on the context.
That's a really crucial distinction because what actually supports those flexible lattices, gives them structure, makes them transparent, that leads us right into competency models.
The foundation.
These are basically frameworks defining the essential skills, knowledge, abilities, behaviors, all the stuff needed for success, either in a specific role or right across the organization.
Yeah.
And we usually talk about two types. Core competencies, things everyone needs, like innovation or collaboration.
Like the company values in action.
Exactly. And then role-specific competencies tailored to jobs, like strategic leadership for managers or HR analytics for us HR pros.
And this is where it all really clicks together into a powerful competency-based HR system. What's fascinating, I think, is how competencies become this common language.
Yeah, across everything.
Pretty much.
Right.
Across almost all HR functions. It's like the DNA of your talent strategy. So in hiring, job descriptions, interview questions are built around these competencies. Helps you objectively assess things like adaptability.
Right, not just gut feel.
Exactly. Performance management, you're evaluating people not just on hitting numbers, but on how well they show these critical behaviors.
Makes sense.
L&D uses them to find the precise gaps. Career paths become transparent roadmaps based on competencies. Even compensation can be linked to acquiring certain skills.
Wow, okay.
And the benefit, it dramatically increases consistency, objectivity, and this is huge, the legal defensibility of your HR decisions.
That's key for an SPHR.
Definitely. If you're grappling with ensuring fair promotions based on merit, competencies give you that clear criteria.
Okay, foundations lead. Let's dive deeper into strategic learning and development, really looking through that SPHR lens. This isn't basic training anymore. It's about proactively shaping your human capital to drive the business.
Right, beyond just compliance training.
For sure. A classic model we have to touch on is ADDIE, Analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation.
Cool, ADDIE.
Yeah. But for a senior leader, the strategic challenge isn't just memorizing the steps, it's knowing where organizations often stumble.
Okay.
So, quick recap. Analysis is figuring out the needs, TNA. Training needs assessment, organizational, task, individual level.
But do we need training because of new tech?
Exactly. Then design is outlining the solution, the objectives. Development is creating the materials. And as an SPHR, you're overseeing that quality.
Making sure it's effective, not just flashy.
Right. Implementation is the delivery, the logistics, getting it done.
And then the big one.
Evaluation.
Yes. The critical, but so often under-resourced phase. This is where you measure if it actually worked.
So how do we do that effectively?
Well, the classic framework is Kirkpatrick's 4 levels. Level 1 is reaction. Did they like the training? Happy sheets.
The smiley faces?
The smiley faces, exactly. Level 2 is learning. Did they actually gain knowledge or skills, like a quiz score?
Okay.
Level 3 is behavior, and this is key. Are they actually applying it back on the job?
The transfer of learning.
Precisely. And level 4 is results did the training impact business metrics, things like sales, productivity, error rates.
That's the holy grail, really.
It is. And for a really strategic view, a savvy SPHR also thinks about Phillips level 5, ROI, trying to calculate that monetary return on investment.
Which sounds hard.
It can be. But here's a huge SPHR pitfall, stopping at level 1. Assuming happy participants mean effective training.
Big mistake.
Huge. As an SPHR, you have to push beyond that. And you absolutely need root cause analysis. Is it really a training problem?
Right. Or is it something else?
Exactly. If sales are down because your pricing is wrong, sales training isn't the fix. Investing in training without solid evaluation is just hope, not strategy.
That's a really vital point. We see that happen, lots of money spent, happy sheets look good, but no change in behavior or results. So if an SPHR is only tracking level 1, what's the first step to get to those level 3 and 4 results?
Great question. First step is always back to analysis. Revisit that initial needs assessment, where the learning objectives clearly tied to observable behaviors and business outcomes from the start.
Okay. Design for measurement.
Design for measurement. And speaking of design, that brings in adult learning principles, or andragogy, Malcolm Knowles' work.
Right. Adults learn differently than kids.
Totally. They need to know why. Why am I learning this? How is it relevant to my job, my goals?
Makes sense.
They're generally self-directed. They like autonomy. Their past experience. It's a huge resource. Don't ignore it. Draw on it.
Use their experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Readiness matters. Timing is key. They're usually problem-oriented. They want practical application, not just theory.
How can I use this tomorrow?
Precisely. And finally, intrinsic motivation often drives them more job satisfaction, achievement, not just, a free lunch.
Right.
Ignoring these principles, that's often why even well-designed training fails to stick.
So understanding how adults learn helps you choose the right delivery methods and modalities.
Absolutely. Is it instructor-led, ILT for interaction, e-learning for scale, on-the-job, OJT, for hands-on skills, maybe simulations for practicing difficult conversations.
Or mentoring and coaching for tailored development.
Right. Or often a blended learning approach, mixing different methods. A common strategic mistake is picking the wrong tool for the job.
Like using a PDF to teach someone complex machinery.
Exactly. You need a hands-on demo or simulation for that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, all L&D has to be aligned with strategic goals.
Connected to the business.
Always. If the strategy is innovation, L&D supports it with creative thinking workshops. If it's customer satisfaction, you run service training. It's about building a true learning culture.
Where learning isn't an event, it's ongoing.
Yes. Supported by leadership, like you see at places like Google or IBM, it's just part of how things get done.
We talk about this, but really proving the value, that's often where HR leaders get stuck. How do we move beyond tracking attendance or quiz scores to showing real business impact? The stuff the C-suite cares about.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's get into the actual metrics that matter. We need things like, participation rate, assessment scores, but more importantly, behavior change metrics.
Right. Okay.
Like increased sales after sales training, fewer accidents after safety training, better CSAT schools after service training.
Tangible changes.
Yes, and broader impact metrics, overall productivity, quality improvements. And then the big one, a return on investment, ROI.
That formula. ROI, gain from learning, cost of learning is 100.
Seems straightforward.
But calculating that gain from learning, that's the tricky part. It's not always a simple dollar figure.
That's lots of variables.
You often have to isolate the training effect, use estimates, But for your SPHR exam and in your job, watch out for common evaluation errors,
Like,
like not measuring at all, or confusing activity outputs with results outcomes.
how many people trained versus what changed?
Exactly. Relying only on level 1 reaction data, that's a huge blind spot. And trying to isolate training effects. If sales went up, was it just the training, or did marketing launch a new campaign too?
Good point. Need to be realistic.
An SPHR acts like an HR detective here. Let's say a factory has rising accidents. The strategic solution. Needs analysis, maybe hands-on simulations engaging adult learners, and then rigorously measuring success through fewer accidents and observed safer behaviors, not just counting heads in the training room.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. From developing current skills to cultivating talent for the long haul, let's talk career planning and development.
Super important for retention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is about preparing people for the future, building that internal talent pipeline. We use tools like career pathing, outlining those ladders or lattices.
Giving people a roadmap.
Yeah. Individual development plans, IDPs for personalized goals, mentoring and coaching, job rotation, cross-training,
Broadening their horizons.
tuition reimbursement, maybe even internal career centers to boost internal mobility.
And this connects back to those advanced models we mentioned, like the dual career ladder.
Right. Tell us more about that.
This is so valuable in fields like R&D or IT. It lets your brilliant technical experts progress, get seniority, get paid more, without forcing them into management roles they might hate or be bad at.
Addresses the Peter Principle.
Exactly. Stops promoting people out of jobs they excel at, and implementing those career lattices that has its own hurdles.
Like getting people comfortable with lateral moves.
Precisely. It requires a cultural shift. HR has a big role in educating everyone, leaders, employees, on the value of those cross-functional experiences.
Okay. And how does this differ from succession planning?
Good clarification. Succession planning is really organization-focused, identifying and prepping people for specific key roles, the next CFO, the next head of R&D.
Filling critical gaps.
Right. Career planning, on the other hand, is individual-focused. It's about the employee's personal growth, their aspirations. They definitely overlap and feed each other, but the core focus is different.
Got it.
And the link to employee engagement and retention is undeniable. Lack of growth opportunities, still a top reason people leave.
So strong career development is a competitive edge.
Huge one. If an SPHR sees low survey scores on career growth, maybe you implement lattices, boost mentoring, get development budgets approved.
So when shifting from ladders to lattices, what's the biggest cultural hurdle you typically see? Is it managers resisting, employees being confused?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's often manager resistance. Many leaders came up through a ladder system. They might see a lateral move as a loss for their team, or think the employee isn't ambitious enough.
Instead of seeing the broader skill gain?
Exactly. It takes a real mindset shift, and HR has to champion that long-term value. And other pitfalls for SPHR leaders. Don't confuse career development with performance management. Related, yes, but distinct goals. Okay. Don't ignore diverse needs not everyone wants to manage. Offer strong technical or specialist paths. Plan for career plateaus. Mid-career folks might need lateral moves, special projects, sabbaticals to stay engaged.
Don't just rely on promotions.
Right. If you have high turnover among young staff in a flat structure, the strategic fix is often lattices, rotations, mentoring, clear communication about all the ways to grow.
Okay, let's tie these threads back together with competency models and competency-based HR systems. The blueprint, building one isn't quick, right? It's a strategic SPHR oversight process.
Definitely not quick. It starts with strategy alignment. Competencies have to reflect where the business is going.
Future focus.
Then job analysis, what really makes someone great in this role. Then you distill those into specific competencies, define different levels of proficiency, maybe basic to expert.
Thanks, Seth.
Then you validate it, get expert input, look at data, implement it across HR systems. Critically, communicate and train everyone on how to use it. And finally, maintain it, update it as jobs change.
What's the biggest challenge in just building the model itself?
Often it's getting that stakeholder buy-in and avoiding over-engineering, making it too complex or academic so nobody actually uses it.
Yeah.
Utility is key.
Keep it practical.
Exactly. Because the real power is using competencies in HR systems. Recruitment. You hire for success predictors, reducing bias.
More objective.
Training and development. You pinpoint exact gaps for targeted learning. Performance management gets balanced feedback beyond just numbers.
Connects performance to development.
Right. Career paths become clear. Succession planning gets data-driven. Even compensation can be competency-based, paying more for critical skills. And legally,
Yeah.
huge boost in objectivity and defensibility.
Example.
Think customer service reps. Competencies might be product knowledge, empathy, problem solving. That guides hiring, training, evals. And for global companies, you got to adapt these for local cultural contexts.
That transparency and defensibility sound like huge wins. But what are the common strategic pitfalls when you actually implement these systems?
Well, for an SPHR, definitely watch out for that over-engineering, making it too clunky for managers that kills adoption fast.
Right.
Not truly linking competencies across all relevant HR systems. It's another miss. Confusing competencies with simple tasks like operates a forklift is a task. Equipment operations skill is the competency.
Subtle but important difference.
Very. Also, watch for bias creeping into assessments. And crucially, failing to update the models as the business evolves.
So if managers complain about a new system,
The SPHR solution is probably retraining, maybe simplifying the model, giving clear behavioral examples, calibration sessions for managers, and making sure development resources are easy to find.
okay, absolutely critical piece now, the legal guardrails. As an SPHR, messing this up has big consequences. We don't need an exhaustive law list, but what are the key strategic imperatives here?
Right, it's about the why. The overarching strategic theme is fairness and equity. So laws like Title VII and the Age Discrimination in Employment Act, ADDIE, mean equal opportunity in training and promotion.
No, excluding older workers from development programs.
Exactly. And training must be offered equitably across protected classes. Then the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADDIE, mandates accessibility, reasonable accommodation in training, maybe interpreters, different formats, thinking about universal design from the start.
Built-in accessibility.
Then there's safety and compliance. OSHA mandates specific safety training, HAZCOM, lockout, tagout, and requires solid documentation. And SPHR ensures it's effective, not just a checkbox.
And wage an hour.
Key area. The Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, dictates paying non-exempt employees for training time. If it's required and job-related, you generally have to pay them. No off-the-clock training allowed.
Big compliance risk there.
Huge. And finally, think about talent development for specific groups. Federal contractors, affirmative action plans, AAPs might require programs for underrepresented groups. USERRA protects returning service members needing reskilling, applying that escalator principle for their career path.
Make sure they don't fall behind.
Right. And in union shops, labor relations and the collective bargaining agreement, CBA, might dictate everything about training and promotion. That's your guide.
So, bottom line for an SPHR, fairness, accessibility, safety, compliance, watchwords for all L&D and career development. The exam will definitely hit on identifying legal issues in these scenarios.
Exactly. And to wrap it all together strategically, an SPHR needs to truly integrate L&D with the entire talent management lifecycle.
Protect all the docs.
Yes. Recruitment, performance, succession, retention. You need to actively foster that culture of learning and development, get leadership buy-in, allocate resources, celebrate learning.
Make it real.
Leverage technology, LMS, LXP, analytics, VR, AI. Think global considerations if you're multinational. Adapt for local context. Always, always. Measure impact and communicate value using data, especially ROI, to show HR's strategic role.
Prove your worth.
Maintain ethics and employee relations, be fair, confidential, and build in adaptability. Your L&D systems need to be agile enough to handle remote work shifts, new tech, changing regulations.
So what this really means for you listening, your role in L&D, career planning, competency models, it's not just operational, it's deeply strategic. You are shaping the future workforce of your organization.
Wow. Okay, that was quite the deep dive today. We covered so much ground. The strategic side of L&D ADDIE's evaluation phase, adult learning, the metrics that matter. We unpacked career planning ladders versus lattices, IDPs, the critical link to retention.
Tree stuff.
We established competency models as that essential blueprint for objective, legally sound HR. And yeah, we navigated the crucial legal landscape, Title VII, ADA, FLSA, OSHA, and more. It's a lot, but it all connects. My final thought for you as that strategic HR leader is this. Skills. Their shelf life is getting shorter and shorter thanks to tech and market shifts.
So true.
So the most strategic L&D and career development systems won't just react to today's needs. They will proactively try to anticipate the skills you'll need tomorrow.
Predicting the future, almost.
In a way, yes. How well your organization can predict, build, and adapt its talent pool through these strategies. That's what will define its long-term viability and competitive edge. It's not just developing people. It's developing the right people for a future that isn't even fully here yet. That's your real mission.
That's a really powerful thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this SPHR deep dive into learning and development, career planning, and competency models. And for everyone listening, here's where it gets really interesting: how you take these insights and strategically shape the future of talent in your own organization. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.